B'Shem Hashem Na'aseh v'Natzliach, everybody. I dedicate this shiur for the full recovery of my dear father, Avi Mori Ateret Roshi, Shlomo ben Pari, that has been diagnosed with a tumor. I beg all of you, please pray for my dear father, Avi Mori Shlomo ben Pari, and hopefully you could share this video to others and it will be a merit that he recovers fully. This week's Parsha is Matot. We're at the end of the fourth book of the Torah, and the Torah commands Moses, God commands Moses, that he should go take the revenge of the Jewish nation from the nation of Midian. Why? Because Midian had done a horrible act. They had let loose Hefker, their princess. They had sent her to seduce sexually Zibrim ben Salui, the governor, the head of the tribe of Shimon, and 24,000 Jews committed adultery by sleeping with people that were female idol worshippers and doing idolatry and sexual misconduct, and God got mad. So 24,000 Jews died, including the governor of one of the tribes. So God said also in last week's Parsha, in Pinchas, God says, Saroret HaMidyanim. You must antagonize, harbor hatred and against this nation of Midian, because Midian caused the Jews to sin. Now, the Rab Shimon Bar Yochai makes a fascinating observation. It's rare in the Torah that the Torah says you should hate anybody. The whole Torah is about loving your neighbor. And it's a fascinating thing. If you look in the Torah, it says the absolute opposite about the Egyptians. The whole famous holiday, one of the most glorious nights of the year, that we read the Seder about the terrible, we read in very detail about the terrible bondage and murder that Paro did to the Jews. But the Torah says the total opposite about the Egyptians. It says, do not hate them. Do not hate them. And actually, the co-conspirator, the partner, the comrade of Midian was the nation of Moab. They also hated the Jews and caused them to sin. The Torah says never a Jewish, a male from the nation of Moab that was partners in crime with Midian can join the Jewish nation. Only their females can, and that's a whole different lecture, whole different discussion for a different time. Forever they are banished from coming to Kal Hashem, Moab. On the other hand, the Egyptian, which if you look at the numbers, they really killed many, murdered in cold blood, like many Jews. After 3 generations, they can't be full-fledged Jews. Why? Shouldn't the Egyptians be much worse? Yet the Torah says, don't hate the Egyptian, hate the Midian. Moab could never come and become full-fledged Jew, they're males, but the Egyptian can after 3 generations. So from here it teaches us a very, very important message that's very important in our community, Persian community. From here we see the holy Kabbalist, the father of the Zohar, the author of the Zohar. It's worse. Gadol ha'machti havero yoter mehorgo. It's much worse. Somebody that caused somebody to sin, worse than murdering him. Because it's a horrible thing to murder somebody like the Egyptians did. They murdered many Jews in cold blood. But at least they only took away this world. This world, you live 70, 80 years, you go to the next world, which is heaven, and bask in the glory of God forever. But if you cause somebody to sin, like the Midianites, they took all their royal princesses and they made them seduce the Jews into sexual morality. They were taking away the eternal gift, which is heaven, from the Jew. So the Torah is teaching us this idea that murder is the worst crime, but it's only making the person ineligible to live in this earthly world. Making somebody sin is taking away their eternity, their netzach, which is forever. Like my great mentor, Harav Ben David, says, it's something to ponder about. Heaven doesn't last for 1 billion years, for 1 trillion years. It lasts forever. So how does this deal with us? In our Persian community, it's a terrible thing. It's become a custom that a lot of people, they make big parties, they invite weddings, bar mitzvahs, they invite thousands of people. And instead of bringing a kosher certified caterer, they, heaven forbid, being somebody that's kosher style, uncertified, the whole thing, he promises, swears on his mother's grave that it's Jewish, but it could be totally bogus. How can you have the chutzpah and audacity and the guts and Allah to cause thousands of people to eat unkosher? Now you may say they don't eat kosher anyways, but no. Many of them, if not for you throwing this party, would be eating kosher in their own homes. And I know a Kohen, he was so furious, he said he had never eaten non-kosher in his life. So the best kind of mitzvah you can do is causing the masses to do teshubah, to do mezaket harabim, to cause the masses like Moses, Moshe Ra'aya Me'emna did, to do mitzvah. The worst possible sin is to cause many Jews to sin, whether in doing non-modest acts or whether eating non-kosher or gambling or other things. So may Hashem help us always to be a light unto our community, to cause people to become better and closer to God. Not, God forbid, we should make joyous occasions also God happy, and use kosher certified. And may this video be a merit to my dear father that always was a backbone and is a backbone to cause people to do mitzvot. Amen. Don't forget to